so hot today. Oh my god. Oh. I'm just. Oh. What is going on there? I'm just finishing my coffee before I do anything. What is this? There we go. Some splatter going? Weird. Yeah, I'm just drinking my coffee, so. I kind of started the stream early. It's going to take me a while to get through this coffee, so whatever. You get to watch me, like, vibe out. It's a really nice day. I need to make my setup a little better so I can control this camera with my phone or something like that. I think I can set that up, because then I could angle it so you can see the nice nature. I suppose you could probably hear it. Very nice. Just had sausages for lunch. Had a pint of German beer. Der alteste Brauerei in der Welt. Supposedly. I don't know if I said that right. I can't remember what the name of it is. It's Wechenstein. I don't know. Some shit like that. Oh, that's hot. This one's gonna take a while, I can already tell. Slow and steady. I've said it a bunch already, but it's just a very gentle sort of image. The cats and the ladies, I don't know. I really want to capture the softness of it more than anything. Oh, the clouds are so nice today. The car is probably going to be the most challenging part for me. I've never really painted a car before. And right now the sketch of it is kind of bad. I'm going to have to fix the sketch up before I paint it. Looks a little like warped and fucked up. The foreground should be like pretty chill. It's just sort of like these roses. I don't know, maybe it won't take too long. I'm really liking what I've done so far. What should I talk about while I drink my coffee? I watched Master and Commander last night. Really awesome movie. I highly recommend it to basically anyone. You know, it's just a 2003 historical epic based on a book series. I'm sad they never made any more, because it's amazing. You know, the attention to detail in regard to the ship and how it functions and all the different roles on the crew. It's just like, it's so amazing to get like fully immersed in the sort of lifestyle, and they don't. It's very matter of fact, which is interesting. I don't entirely know how to describe it, but they don't necessarily spend a whole lot of time just like acquainting you with all the different characters on the ship. You sort of learn of them very naturally, because it has a cold open. Everything's already established, so you sort of just get to know familiar faces through witnessing just like everything they do, basically. It's very meticulous in showing every stage and step of their journey, from refitting the ship to different seasons. You get to see winter, you get to see starving, you get to see celebrating once they've got some new food, and boozing out. But it doesn't ever like slow down too much where you're like, oh, this is a character building scene. It's all, you get to know them very naturally, as if you're one of them on the ship. And so when when it breaks out into like tremendous storms or big battles, it's you know, it's gut wrenching. You know, you feel like you're a part of this crew. It never feels like ham fisted or tropey the way everything's established. So it makes it so much more immersive. I feel. I don't know. Like, that's enough gushing about Master and Commander, but check it out. It's very good. Russell Crowe. I want to, like, outside of this, or I guess if I'm gonna stream more, I'd like to have movies not be my only topic of conversation, but it's also really the only thing I ever want to talk about. Talk about video games. I'm pretty pissed off at Hearthstone at the moment. Hearthstone Battlegrounds specifically. They just came out with a new season, and I don't know. They've introduced more pay to win mechanics. It just feels very like scummy and I don't even want to talk about it. It makes me miserable. I was already sort of off that game anyway. I've been playing The Bazaar. The Bazaar is great. Really awesome game. I have some particular issues with how it's balanced at the moment, but I can excuse it. Unlike Hearthstone, which has had so much time to like figure out how the systems work and how to balance it well, it's still balanced terribly. It's like I can excuse The Bazaar for being a bit rough around the edges when it comes to game flow. You know, for instance, I find that the sort of scaling to which the power scaling of people you verse is quick. You can fall behind so easily. You know, you go from sort of cruising and having like, you know, pretty even fights with other players to all of a sudden this guy like has a burst build and kills me within like half a second before I even get time to like read what they're even doing, which also makes it difficult to learn. You know, the later you get into it, the more the battles are like just decided the second they start. You glance at his build and it's so ridiculously powerful that there isn't enough of like a range. I feel like, you know, a good player who knows what they're doing and knows the meta can be, you know, so much higher than someone like me who's not super aware of all that kind of thing, that it can be pretty demoralizing. I wish they sort of created a bit more of a middle ground. I don't know. Or just, maybe it's just there's not enough players at the moment and I'm playing against people who are really good. I'd rather play against people who are like me and not very good. I'm good at some games, alright? I'm just not good at like... I like them. I really like them. I find them quite enjoyable, but I'm not particularly good at that kind of strategy game because I'm stubborn. It's because it's my fault. I just don't like to observe the meta too much. I don't like to do research. I don't really watch streamers and things like that, so I fall behind very quickly because I'm not interested in sort of keeping up with the, you know, the online discussion of it and stuff like that. I just like to boot it up and go in raw. And you know, it's my fault that because of that I suffer in most online games of that ilk. I'm pretty unwilling to ruin my experience. For me anyway, I consider it ruining my experience. 'Cause I like just an immersive, you know, just throw it on. Means that I don't play a lot of competitive games basically because of that. I'm better off with single player games that I can just take at my own pace. I've been playing Mafia. Great game, like the remake, Mafia 1. I really like it. It's very fun. Awesome story so far. I'm at like chapter 8 or something. Loving it. Just starting Lords of the Fallen 2. I really like it so far. Great graphics. I don't know. I played all the other Souls games, and it's kind of nice because it's the exact same like archetype, but not actually being a FromSoft game means that the handling of it is different enough that I'm struggling with it. My problem with FromSoft is honestly I've played so many of their sort of Souls games that I find them kind of trivial. I've sort of figured them out. Like even Elden Ring, I never really had any problem with Elden Ring going through it because I just played so much of like Dark Souls 1 through 3. Whereas this, even though it's basically the same, the fact that it just handles completely differently, because they're just like the animation timing and the response time, everything's just different enough that I'm like struggling again. You know, I got stuck on like the first proper boss, and feels nice. It's been a while. Playing a lot of Isaac. Love Isaac. I don't know. I had a bit of a stint where I stopped playing games because I was sick of how bloated they were. I don't know. I really like movies, which is clear. And movies often, at their best, are like clean and succinct, and every single shot and line of dialogue feels completely planned and deliberate. Whereas for video games, even at their best, there's still a lot of fat. You know, there's a lot of bloat. There's a lot of just stuff that's just thrown in there. You know, like good example, God of War. I love God of War. Great story. I got really into it. I found the combat super satisfying. You know, the art direction, everything about that game. But then it also just has like a pointless crafting system attached to it that I never found interesting. But you just sort of, when it comes to gaming and video games, all of that sort of stuff, you just have to like learn to live with. And I guess I got sick of living with it recently. I just got so utterly tired of any game that has any mechanic that just felt like, ugh, why is this even here? It's a waste. It's wasting my time. It even takes away from like what it could be. I've been going back on that a little bit. I don't know. I don't like min-maxing, I guess. It's not for me. I like an immersive experience. And that's not to say that I like just a really cinematic game. Like, I don't necessarily just like a sort of walking sim. You're essentially just playing a movie. Sometimes, I'm not against them. I actually do kind of like games like that. But I really like a mechanically clean game. It's just like straight to the point. No fluff, no bullshit. You know, that's why I like boomer shooters a bit, like Doom and Dusk and Ultra Kill. No bullshit. You're just in there. This is your kit. We're throwing you right into it. There's no like long ass preamble or anything. And every point of it just feels clean, concise, deliberate. There's no time wasting. I love it. I don't know. I've been looking for games like that. You know what I've been looking for? If anyone has a recommendation for me, I've been looking for... I want to play like a sort of long-form, open-world, immersive RPG, you know, like a Skyrim or a fucking... I don't know, like a fantasy RPG. But obviously those games are famously, like, very padded with, like, so much stuff, you know, so much there that you kind of have to engage with to some extent. But I was trying to find like a fantasy RPG that had, I don't know, that felt more like deliberately designed and clean and concise, you know. It doesn't have to be short, but I just mean like sharp, you know. Maybe I don't even know what I want. I was having a thought to myself the other day about item stats. You know, I play a bit of World of Warcraft and stuff like that, or even in Skyrim. And you know, you've killed a bandit and you're picking up a sword or a piece of armor or something like that. We'll go with a sword, and the sword is like, oh, you know, it does 20 to 30 damage. This is like its DPS value. It's got this attack speed. It's got a 5% crit rate. It does plus 20% damage to undead because it's like a holy blade or some shit. You've just got like this whole list of stats. And when you have access to that, you know, you can pick this up and immediately compare it to everything else you've got and be like, okay, it actually has slightly better DPS than this, but obviously right now I'm fighting a bit of undead. I've got a bit of a crit thing going on, so maybe high crit's more useful for me. Whatever, yeah. It's there for comparison and it is useful. But at the same point, I would love to play an RPG with the same breadth and almost deliberate bloat of something like Skyrim, where the item descriptions, or like the item stats, were presented to you purely through actual like language. So for instance, maybe the sword I start off with, you're just like, maybe let's say you're a soldier. Let's say your starting situation is you're a soldier, and you know, maybe you get separated, your army gets wiped out, whatever. But maybe your starting gear is standard soldier gear, and so you look at your sword, and it's not going to tell you its damage, but it's like, you know, decently, you know, it's a mass-produced, handles pretty well, decent damage, nothing special sword. And that's like the description, obviously in better wording than that, but it's literally just telling you it's okay, it's mass-produced, it's nothing special, but it gets the job done. And there's no damage numbers or anything, but you can sort of infer its effectiveness through gameplay. But then, you know, later on, if you pick up like a special enchanted sword, you'll pick it up and be like, finely crafted blade, you know, imbued with colorful magic, you know, emits like a warm heat, and when striking anything seems to produce like a wondrous flame. You're like, you read that and you're like, fuck, this is definitely better than my sword. Like, you still have that comparison. And you'd be like, you have to use your brain a bit, but you'd read that and be like, okay, so it's probably like, it does some fire damage, so maybe if I'm fighting, you know, woodland creatures, I might want to use this, because fire, you know, you just have to think about it. And like armor, you could have like lots of variation of like different level of craftsmanship, and you could even potentially learn more about the quality of your gear through speaking with smiths and traders and stuff like that. Like say you find some armor and it's like finely woven leather armor, and you're like, okay, this seems pretty good, but you know, I've got like strong, you know, my armor is also quite strong. But then potentially if you take it to like a tailor or something like that, and you can just show him your different pieces of gear, he can give you tidbits on them and be like, oh, this finely woven piece of gear clearly is made by like elvish smiths, you know, this is really powerful in repelling, like, I mean, I'm basically just fucking describing D&D at this point, I guess, but I want that in like a video game form. Like, I feel like you can strip away the stats and actually have like descriptions presented through interesting flavor text that still gives you enough of a sense. And obviously you can intuit a lot through just gameplay, but just not having the stats, you know, like, it saps my immersion to be like, oh, I picked up this sword that does 10 to 20 damage. Great. I'd rather pick up a sword and be like, this is an effective sword, smithed by what looks like ancient dwarven smiths. You know, it emits light when surrounded by darkness. You know, you're like, okay, this is probably a really effective sword, and it's gonna glow in the dark. And maybe when you use it, you're like, oh, it's heavy, you know. You can associate your own things, so you can be like, this is a slow weapon, it means when you pick up a new weapon, you actually gotta, like, kick it around a bit, use it. You're not just being told, you know, when you play, like, WoW or anything like that, you just pick up shit and you're like, oh, no, this is worse than mine. Oh, yeah, it's got lower damage. It's got lower intelligence, whatever. You're just like, yeah, not as good. The stats just quickly begin to mean nothing, and it's just purely, like, statistical min-maxing, which I really don't, like, I'm okay with min-maxing, but I don't think it should have a place in, like, single-player, non-competitive, supposedly immersive open-world fantasy RPGs. Like, why the fuck does Skyrim have stats, man? It should just be, like, clean. Anyway, that's my rant over. Oh, I've almost finished my coffee. I told you it would take me a fucking ages to drink this. I'm just whipping out my phone to see if my camera is still in a good position. Like I said, I can't move it this, and then this, and then live, and then there it is. Okay, yeah, this is fine. I look kind of insane. I gotta stop looking at myself. You know, part of being an artist is you gotta take your time a little bit. You gotta give yourself some breathing room, I guess. Reminisce, think about things, etc. You know, like, I like how this is coming along, but letting it sit gives me time to consider it and what I want to do next, and I don't know. Crock of bullshit. I'm just wasting time. My coffee's getting cold. I was talking too much. A friend of mine asked me to, you know, he's just started watching good movies. You know, he's got a new TV setup, and I watch a lot of movies, and so he was asking me for some quite specific recommends of, like, foreign films, like sort of artsy foreign films. And I get why he's asking, because it's a little bit, you know, it's easy enough to find, like, good movies, but if you're looking for, like, some niche sort of foreign films that you might not have heard of and are a little, you'd have to dig further. I think that's what he's sort of looking for. He wanted, like, 5 good ones that I would recommend to him specifically. I've been trying to think of one for, like, a bunch of different nationalities instead of all just being, like, French. My running list of 5, and I guess this could be directed at anyone. I think these movies are fantastic and everyone should watch them, is definitely Fallen Angels, Chinese, Wong Kar-wai. It's probably my favorite movie of all time, and it's a banger. What else was that? The Innocents. I think it's called The Innocents. It's like Scandi sort of movie. I couldn't even really begin to explain it, but I think it's fantastic. Beautiful cinematography. Just like an interesting movie. I think you'd like that one. I was thinking maybe Climax, Gaspar Noé, French. Although it's not like super French language, it's kind of like there's a lot of English in it. Is it the best Gaspar Noé one for him? I don't know. I mean, I think the best Gaspar Noé film is probably Irreversible, but I think he'd like Climax the most. You know, the music, the colors, awesome. Yeah, I'll go Climax. I was thinking Suspiria, like the original Suspiria for, like, Italian. I think that movie's awesome looking. Can't go wrong. Maybe I was thinking of The Wailing. It's not that obscure, but The Wailing is an awesome Korean sort of horror movie, but it's not, like, really intense and artsy. It's got a bit of a lighter tone, but really well shot, and just, like, it's quite entertaining. It's just, like, a really good movie. Maybe The Handmaiden. What is that? Is it Japanese? Might even be, like, Filipino or something. Vietnamese. I'm not sure. The Handmaiden's really good. I don't know if you'd like The Handmaiden though. I'm sort of stumped on like a last one. I feel like the first four are really good, but I need like one more. I guess I don't have like a Japanese, but I do have like a Chinese and Korean one in there. What's another? What about like I've got a French one. There's an Iranian movie. I haven't even seen this one, so I can't recommend it, but I really want to watch A Girl Walks Home Alone at Night. Maybe I should watch that like tonight or something, and potentially I could recommend that one. I don't know. It's supposed to be good. What other nationalities are movies I watched? I'm just like thinking of good movies. I'm stumped. German. I don't have a good German movie. Fuck. How do I not have a good German movie? I love German shit. I guess I haven't really watched that many German movies. I'm looking at like none of these are German. The Night Eats the World. That's a kind of sick movie. It's French. Let the Right One In. What do you like? Let the Right One In? Maybe. I don't know. It might be too depressing. Noroi, The Curse, Dark and Wicked Things. When Evil Lurks. What is that? When Evil Lurks. I don't even remember this. This whole list is fucking horror movies though. Oh yeah. Shit. I mean I could recommend that. This is what nationality even is this movie? Argentinian. I don't know. That's a great movie. I could recommend that. Maybe. Yeah. I'm trying to think of the movies he would like. Obviously, anyone who watches, check out When Evil Lurks. I think it's on Shudder. Fucking awesome movie. Really like innovative setting. Just cool. Just, like really well realized. Like cool conceptually, but then really well realized. Yeah, fuck, that's a cool movie. Burn Daylight. I need some other topic that's not video games and movies. I'm such a freaking dork. Talk about freaking politics. No. Suppose I could talk about art, but I don't really love just waffling on about art too much because it feels a bit wanky. I mean, I am like it is interesting and I do like to think about that kind of thing, but I don't necessarily like it's not the most approachable topic to talk about, I think. So I don't often bring it up unless someone is like notably fascinated and sort of pushing for it. I mean, there's lots of interesting things to talk about in the wheelhouse of art, but I don't know. Unprompted, I don't really like to go on about it. 'Cause it just makes you sound like you're a bit of a, I don't know, a bit of a wanker. Man, the sky is so nice today. I'm worried my camera's on a blue light. Does that mean it's gonna follow me? Frick. I think that's fine. Does that mean if I walk over here? pretty cool actually. You can see the sky. You kind of like low down there, like a little hello. You should all, dude. I need to like raise this up. All done. Ugh. What music should I listen to? I was kind of disappointed in my Spotify Wrapped this year. It like just happened today, but I don't know. I'm disappointed in myself more than anything. My top song was no, honestly, it's a really good song. It was by Pup. Pup? Yeah, I'm gonna listen to it. Good band. But I am disappointed just because after that was like just a really popular EDM song that I was listening to a bunch, which I just like don't feel great about. Pup? Was it Pup? It is Pup. Pup DVP. What a banger. Why is my earphones not working? Take them out and put them back in. There we go. What a tune. Alright. I need this. Alright, whenever you take a break and you come back to it, there's always like shit that looks really like wrong to you now. Like this. Also, I'm just like more juiced. Coffee and beer. I feel bad. Most of the time you're not going to be able to see what I'm painting. It's only when I like step away. If anyone's got any suggestion of better ways of arranging everything, I'm very interested in some advice. I should do some like market research. What is other people doing? Too white. Yeah. Way too much white in here. colours feel still kind of wrong. This brush is like falling apart while I'm using it. Oh no. There's a lot of like this red I want to get back in there. Yeah. I think that's looking better now. Kind of interesting. Yeah. This spot is like a lot darker than the rest of it. Like that. Put some highlights back in. Oh, sorry. No, I think it was like white sort of on there. Yeah. Bring that black and red back. This. Pretty nice looking. Yeah. Oh, it's so hard. I want to do this bit. I also want to make this connection. sort of like the same orange. This is like too red. Oh yeah. Bit more like orange in here. Sorry, I'm not very good at talking while I'm doing this. Maybe this should be more of like an ASMR fucking live stream. Get like a mic close up. Just listen to the birds and the brush strokes. 'Cause I'm not entertaining enough to just speak further. I think a mosquito just bit my thigh. Very itchy. Oh yeah, definitely. Whatever. Oh, I'm getting like mega bitten by mosquitoes. Ah! Oh god. There it is. I'm gonna kill this dude. I'm gonna drop him. Just gotta wait. This is pro mosquito killing. Come on. Where are you going, eh? Like you can see him. Oh! Oh my god, he must have really got me. He's like covered in blood. That was pretty sick. Oh god, I'm so itchy, man. Fuck. God damn it. Ah! I skipped that song. Alright, I'm gonna mix it up. Sorry, Pop. I listened to you so much last year. I'm listening to Major Tom by Peter Schilling. sort of going to blur all this out and then come back in with a heavier stroke width. Yeah. Just get it all on the right tones. Yeah, okay. Oh, is there another one? You didn't see what happened to your friend? I think I'm alright. Right, there's a bit of like highlight here. And a bit of highlight here. Kind of weird looking, but it'll do. A little bit more orange from this spot here. Alright. It's alright. I got jump scared though, leave. I'm just gonna go wash my hands, maybe get a drink of water. Man, that mosquito really got my legs good. Damn. Alright, I'll be back in a moment. Does itching a mosquito bite make it worse? Is it better to just like ignore it? Probably. Oh, I changed shirt because the other shirt had wine stains on it from last night, so. Alright. Back to it. That's better. Mmm. Oh, okay. These are the things come on. Come to you. Could do this doorway area. I might do that. What is it? It's like I see like a red sort of brown, black. Just sort of like a. There's two layers to it though. There's like this, sort of like that. Yeah. Because then yeah, there's like that. There's some sort of like reflection
I think that's good. And then this part is almost entirely black. I don't need the reference for that. Just get a lot of black and paint that in there. Black. Nice part about doing this black is it's gonna like really push the rest of this out. You know, you need everything's contrast. You know, something only looks as light as the things around it. So to have this really like dark spot here is gonna